afternoon. Please be seated. I am Rachel Hudson, Student Body President. On behalf of the class of 2026, I want to welcome you to a day that has been a century in the making. We are the 100th graduating class of Taylor High School. To our parents and families, you are the foundation we've built our success upon. To our teachers and staff, you have given us the knowledge to take on the world. And to my friends and fellow graduates, thank you for being the best part of these last 4 years. Today, we're doing something that has only happened 99 times before in the history of Cleves, Ohio. We are adding our names to the long brown, gold, and now black line of Taylor graduates. We are proud of that history, but today, we are even more proud of the people we've become. Please welcome our Assistant Principal, Mr. Kevin Cook.
Thank you, Rachel, for a wonderful opening, and thank you to all of our guests who are here to celebrate this 100th class that is graduating from Taylor High School, the class of 2026. At this time, we kindly ask that you silence all cell phones and electronic devices so that the program can go on without interruption. I'd like to ask to the stage members of our senior choir, Scotty Boskin, Danielle Childers, Josephine Enderly, Jack Hawkins, Justin Hughes, Rachel Hudson, Lily Shiverdecker, and Hayden Volrath. On this Memorial Day weekend, we want to celebrate those who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms here in the United States. We also want to thank the men and women who have fought and are still fighting for those same freedoms that we celebrate today. I would kindly ask that if everyone's able to stand, please do so, as we will say the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the national anthem, which will be sung by our senior choir. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you guys very much. Wonderful job. It is now my distinct honor to introduce a remarkable leader whose dedication, compassion, and unwavering commitment to students has left a lasting impact on those who have gone through the halls at Taylor. Mrs. Holly Sims is not only an exceptional principal, but a mentor, an advocate, and a source of encouragement for countless students and families. She leads with both strength and heart, and anyone who knows her understands just how deeply she cares for her students. Now, with that said, if you've been to any of our award ceremonies, baccalaureate, scholarship night, or even say a Tuesday, you know that Miss Sims tends to get a little emotional at these things. With that said, I have a brand new clean handkerchief just for you, and I will sit it right there. For Miss Sims, this graduating class is much more than just a group of students. They are young people she has supported, celebrated, and believed in through their journey. Her pride in them is genuine, and her love for this school community is evident in everything that she does. In fact, if she does become a little emotional, please know it's only because she cares and loves for so many of you out there every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the principal of Taylor High School, Mrs. Holly Sims.
Yeah. Now I got to find my good angle. Probably here. Good evening. I am Holly Sims, principal of Taylor High School. I stand here with an incredible sense of pride. This is our 100th commencement, a centennial celebration that marks 100 years of Yellow Jacket pride. But legacy isn't just about time, it's about people. I'd like to introduce the leaders and mentors who supported this legacy. Please hold your applause until the entire group is standing. Mr. Tim Size, Superintendent of Three Rivers Local School District. Mrs. Terry Riesenberg, Treasurer of Three Rivers Local School District. Ms. Megan Rivet, Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction. Mr. Garen Evans, President of the Board of Education. Mr. Ryan McDonald, Vice President of the Board of Education. Ms. Christina Hughes, Member of the Board of Education. Dr. Stephanie Stafford, Member of the Board of Education. Mr. Matt Laycamp, Director of Student Services. Mr. Mark Smiley, Director of Operations. From the Oaks Vocational Center, Ms. Jillian Russell. Our school counselors, Allison Heisel, Marla Heckman, and Katie Ryan. Next, our senior homeroom teachers have been with their group of students for the past 4 years, meeting once a day to touch base and create a sense of community during the school day. We are grateful for your guidance and for being there for our students. Please stand as your name is called. Miss Sarah Crawford, Miss Lindsay Johnson, Miss Xana Faree, Mrs. Amy Holland, Mrs. Vanessa Larkins, and Miss Diana Von Eye. I would now like to recognize the current staff from Taylor High School. Please stand. Oh, thank you. Thank you for educating another exceptional graduating class. We would also ask for teachers from Taylor Middle School and Three Rivers Elementary, as well as our honored staff from district office, please stand for a round of applause. Do we have anybody here? Yeah. With the celebration of the 100th graduating class of Taylor High School, we have also invited back our esteemed staff alumni, including past principals of Taylor, high school teachers, and administrators. Please stand to be recognized. Thank you for your dedication and commitment to our school community. We are here today because of the legacy of those that taught before us. I would also like to recognize two women that planned and organized this beautiful event. Miss Kim Kurtzel and Miss Nancy Herbert, our amazing administrative assistants. Thank you for all your hard work. And thank you to the management and staff of the Cintas Center for their collaboration to make tonight's event possible and for allowing us to properly celebrate our graduates in this amazing venue. This weekend is Memorial Day, and we recognize that a big part of being tailor-made is defined by our service to others. Would all veterans, active duty members, and our courageous student enlistees please stand? We owe you a debt of gratitude that a century of thanks couldn't repay. Finally, I would like to introduce our students' most honored and special guest. Would all the parents and guardians of our graduates please stand? Thank you for your support, which makes today possible for all of our graduates. Now we will recognize and honor 3 students who have distinguished themselves with the highest class rank from among all members of the class of 2026. Their performance and success in their academic pursuits give us cause to honor them with their special titles. Valedictorian. It is my pleasure to introduce a young woman who has earned the title of valedictorian this school year. Ladies and gentlemen, I take great pride in presenting the valedictorian of the class of 2026, Ms. Josephine Enderly. Jazzy will attend the University of North Notre Dame in South Bend, Indiana this fall, majoring in mathematics. Would Jazzy's parents, Dina Enderly and Garth Mickelson, please join us as we present the valedictorian honor medallion to Josephine Enderly. Yeah. Yeah. I am pleased to introduce a young lady who has earned the title of salutatorian this year. Miss Brooke Kelling. Brooke will also be attending The Ohio State University, majoring in nursing this fall. I ask that Brooke's parents, Jesse and Julie Kelling, please join us on stage as we present the salutatorian honor medallion to Miss Brooke Kelling. I am also pleased to recognize our top vocational student from Diamond Oaks, Mr. Caleb Williams. Caleb's will attend Mount St. Joe University, where he will study graphic design. I ask that Caleb's parents, Krista and Daniel Dalton, please join us on stage as we present the top vocational student medal to Caleb Williams. Congratulations again, Jazzy, Brooke, and Caleb. We are very proud of your hard work over the years at Taylor. Now, please welcome Counselor Katie Ryan to the stage.
Thank you. At this time, we will hear from a group of special students. These students have been chosen to address their class with a short speech. We will hear from our 2026 Student Body President, Rachel Hudson, Senior Class President and Valedictorian, Josephine Enderly, our Senior Class Vice President, Josie Taylor, and the 2026 Salutatorian, Brooke Kelly. Following all of our student speeches, our administration will address the audience in the class of 2026.
little boost. Hello again. Okay, like Mr. Cook said, standing up here in front of you guys, it's hard not to get sentimental, so you'll have to excuse me if I get too sappy while we're talking. It's just strange how quickly ordinary things become nostalgic. Because at the time, none of it felt important. You know, like the test we were convinced would ruin our GPA, the bus rides home after games, trying to cover up your laughter in a silent classroom, sitting in our cars after events because nobody was ready to go home yet, homeroom parties, after parties, partying a little too hard before senior breakfast. We spent 4 years waiting for the big moments, the championships, performances, acceptances, and graduations. And somehow, the things we'll probably miss most are the completely average Tuesdays in between. I think that's because high school was never really about becoming impressive. It was about becoming willing. Willing to try something before we felt ready, willing to embarrass ourselves sometimes, willing to care deeply about things even at the risk of failing publicly. Because life is rarely made up of huge cinematic moments. Most of it is made up of ordinary days, and whether those days become meaningful depends on how we choose to live them. You don't have to be good. You don't have to be great. You don't have to punish yourself for not meeting expectations, whether they're someone else's or your own. And I think that's one of the hardest lessons to learn. We spend so much time trying to avoid failure, embarrassment, uncertainty, and discomfort that we accidentally avoid a lot of living, too. And by living, I don't mean filling up your schedule or chasing distractions or doing whatever looks exciting from the outside, because most of us are already pretty good at that. I mean putting yourself out there, challenging yourself, learning from your failures, and finding all versions of yourself. Because the people who accomplish meaningful things are rarely the people who are never scared. They're the people who decided fear wasn't important enough to stop them. As we leave here tonight, we're all heading toward different futures. Some of us have a plan, some of us are still figuring it out. Most of us are probably somewhere in between. But I hope, wherever we end up, that we don't settle for living carefully. I hope we choose to participate fully in our work, our relationships, our communities, and in our lives. My dad showed me a speech by Teddy Roosevelt once that's known as "The Man in the Arena." And I think it says something important that I hope we can take with us today. It says, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who, at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat." Class of 2026, may we always choose to be in the arena. Thank you. Now, if you'll please welcome to the podium, Jossie Enderly.
Good evening. My name is Jossie Enderly. I'm the class of 2026 valedictorian and senior class president. For the past year or so, I said that I would come up here and do stand-up comedy for my speech. I was unfortunately advised that I should not do that, but find me afterwards and I'll give you a really good show. What I can do tonight is tell you about one of the things I've learned during my last 13 years here, something that I never considered valuable until I had to sit down and write this speech against my will. Now, most of the time, we highlight successes, all of the things we have accomplished to get us here today. Endless hours in school, shifts worked at part-time jobs, lasting relationships with the ones we care for most, and for some of us, time spent studying and doing assignments. But what we often fail to realize is failure itself. Ironic, isn't it? Failure is universal to everyone in this room. All of us have experienced some sort of failure in our life, and is one of the things that tears us down the most. And it is In contrast to all of the accomplishments, failure makes us feel like what we have done is nothing, that we are not worthy of what we have already done. Failure is often treated as something to be avoided. We are told to just forget about it, and that it doesn't matter, and that, well, just better luck next time. None of us ever want to think about failure, because it means dwelling on the things we don't like about our lives. But what really is failure? Why is it such a detrimental process in our life? According to my own published dictionary, in my own brain, failure is defined mostly on other people's terms. We fail to meet a standard someone else has created for us. A test standard, codes for a relationship, a deadline, and so much more that the constructs of society push onto us when, in reality, we're all living our first times on Earth together. Now here's where I try to be profound. Failure still has a place in all of our lives. It cannot be avoided. It should not be avoided. But the standards of our failure can change. Failing on someone else's terms is exactly what it sounds like, someone else's terms. But what would happen if we set our own terms for ourselves? Not to say that we should ignore expectations, but if we start looking at our obligations as something self-driven, the failure becomes more genuine to who we are as people. We begin living for ourselves and who we want to be, rather than by the standards of someone else. Last week, Mrs. Bramble urged us to write our own stories at baccalaureate. This is part of it. This is the part where we let ourselves write about what we want to do and who we want to be. As we go forward into our futures, let us remember what failure means to us. Let it shape you. Let the reflection of what you have yet to do drive you to do what you want to do. When I was little, I wanted to be a zookeeper. I haven't failed to become a zookeeper. I just haven't gotten there yet. So catch me at our 50-year reunion and I'll tell you all about it. One last thing. When we do experience inevitable failure in our future, don't be afraid to lean on those who you love most. Don't be afraid to thank your friends, mentors, parents, and family members. Certainly throughout these last years, I have made more lifelong relationships than I can count. And I hope you all find the people who can see you in those low moments and bring you up. Cherish that time together and the bond, and let those who support you in your highest support you in your lowest. I'm sincerely grateful to have known you all these last 13 years and to grow up alongside you. Most of all, I'm grateful to finally begin these next chapters of our lives. As Truman once said, in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Thank you. Please welcome next to the podium, Josie Taylor, Senior Class Vice President.
Good evening, parents, staff, and the class of 2026. First, I would like to thank the people that helped me get here today. My family and my amazing friends have been the best support system I could ever imagine. When we remember high school, we might not remember who took the hardest classes or who the top 5 in the class were. What we will remember are the parts that count, the parts that we made count, the memories that we made together and the time that we spent together. You did not have to be the best at anything to enjoy it. You just had to be there and you had to make it truly count. That is what makes this moment so meaningful. Graduation is not just about receiving a diploma. It's proof of growth. It's proof that we made it through challenges that once seemed impossible. It's proof that we learned how to keep going even when it became difficult. There's a quote from the book, Perks of Being a Wallflower. It says, "We cannot choose where we come from, but we can choose where we go from here." When I first heard this quote, I think it made the most sense to me because we are currently at the point in our lives where we can choose where we go from here. Whether you go to college, enter the workforce, or any step you choose to take, it's your decision. High school brought us this far, and now it's our choice. And no matter what choice you make, it's yours, and nothing can contradict that. Not your past, not your mistakes, nothing. And maybe that's the most important lesson of all. Our past does not decide our future. No matter where we came from, we all have the power to choose where we go next. We can choose kindness over cruelty. We can choose courage over fear. We can choose growth over comfort, and we can choose to learn from our mistakes instead of letting them define us. As we leave high school behind, we are stepping into a world full of uncertainty. Some of us know exactly what we want to do, while others are still figuring it out. But no matter what path we take, every single one of us has the opportunity to create a future bigger than our fears and stronger than our past. Thank you. And now I would like to invite to the podium the class of 2026 salutatorian and my good friend, Brooke Helling.
All right, hi everyone. My name is Brooke Helling, and after 4 years here, I've realized something kind of funny. People love to say that high school prepares you for the real world. I'm not totally convinced that's true. I've never once been asked in real life to perform synthetic division on the spot, and if someone did ask, I would simply walk away. But maybe that was never really the point. Because while high school may not have taught us every practical skill we'll ever need, and certainly tried to teach us every single academic one, it did teach us something more important. It taught us how to figure things out when we have absolutely no idea what we're doing, which from what I can tell is about 90% of adulthood. Over the last 4 years, we learned how to adapt. When a due date changed, we adapted. When a group project completely fell apart right before it was due, we adapted. When we walked into class and suddenly remembered there was a test that day, somehow we adapted. We learned how to improvise, how to think on our feet, how to act like we understood the assignment before we actually did. A lot of us even became experts at nodding confidently while being completely lost. These are some of the lessons beyond academics that high school taught us, lessons that don't show up on report cards. It taught us how to manage pressure, how to balance deadlines, responsibilities, friendships, sports, jobs, and somehow still function on 5 hours of sleep. We learned that life rarely slows down for us, so sometimes we have to learn how to keep moving forward even when things feel overwhelming. It also taught us how important people are. Teachers who stayed after class to help us, friends who made hard days easier, families who supported us through every stressful week and late night assignment. High school reminded us that even when independence is important, nobody succeeds completely on their own. And while high school taught us a lot, there's one lesson I think we're only still beginning to learn, and one thing I ask all of you to practice starting today: advocate for yourselves. Tomorrow, we're gonna wake up the same way we did today, except there will be no rubric, no syllabus explaining exactly how to succeed, no teacher reminding us when something is due. For the first time, we'll be responsible for making decisions that shape our own futures. And the truth is, nobody is going to hand us every opportunity we deserve. We will have to ask the questions, send the emails, apply for the positions, speak up when something matters, and trust ourselves enough to take up space in rooms we once thought we didn't belong in. That can be uncomfortable. Most of us were never really taught how to do that, but it is vital, because if we don't speak up for ourselves, the world will make assumptions for us. So my advice to all of us is this: don't shrink yourselves to fit into places you've already outgrown. Be confident enough to ask for help when you need it, bold enough to chase opportunities that scare you, and strong enough to believe your voice deserves to be heard. As we leave high school behind, I don't think the goal is for us to have everything figured out already. We have proven for 4 years we are capable of learning as we go. I think the goal is simply to leave here a little wiser, a little more prepared, and a little more confident in our ability to handle whatever comes next. We may not remember every lesson from class, but we will remember those lessons that these 4 years gave us. So here's to the class of 2026. Congratulations, graduates. Please welcome to the stage our Superintendent of the Three Rivers School District, Tim Size.
Good evening, members of the board, staff, family, friends, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2026. I'll admit something right off the bat that some folks already know. I procrastinated in writing this. It's a terrible habit of mine. I'm sure none of you know anything about procrastinating. But the main reason was I just couldn't think about what to talk about. I'm the new guy around here, so who am I to talk about 100 years or the first class to go K-12 through the new buildings? I'm not the guy to talk about that. But last Sunday, I sat right up there, there's some empty seats, and watched my daughter walk across the same stage. She's also class of 2026, and I realized two things at that moment. One, she doesn't want to hear anything Dad has to say. And two, you guys have no choice. So, congrats, class of 2026. You're stuck in my daughter's last Dad lecture. So, there's only 4 things I want to talk about. Here's the first thing I want you to know. The world will constantly try to convince you that image matters more than character. It's a lie. Please don't believe it. Character still matters, integrity still matters, keeping your word still matters, and how you treat people still matters, especially when no one's watching. Your generation has grown up in a world where people can filter their photos, edit their lives, and carefully curate versions of themselves for strangers online. But everything in life eventually gets stripped away and seen for what it is. And at the root of everything is your character. So be honest, be dependable, be the kind of person people can trust, be courageous enough to tell the truth and to stand for what's right. That matters more than just about anything else. So that's number 1. Everything else is gravy, but I'll go to number 2. Do hard things. Your life will become very small if your main goal is comfort. Get uncomfortable. Growth comes from challenge, confidence comes from overcoming adversity, and strength is built under resistance. Some of the best moments of your life will come after moments where you thought, I don't know if I can do this, but then you did it anyway. Don't run from struggles, face them head on, learn from them and use them. So third, don't let anyone steal your joy. The world has enough critics, enough negativity, enough cowards hiding behind keyboards, enough people sitting on the sidelines pointing out your flaws. Don't be that. Don't listen to them. Don't be like them. Be builders. Be people who create, who encourage, who improve things, and like you are at Taylor, be someone who leaves a place better than it was when you got there. And lastly, remember that success without relationships is empty. At the end of your life, people will not remember your GPA. They will not remember your follower count. I'm superintendent and they didn't even spell my name right. But they will remember how you made them feel, whether you showed up for them, and when you showed up, whether you were present. So tonight, as you celebrate this milestone, I hope you also pause thinking of those relationships and recognize the people who helped carry you here. Your parents, grandparents, guardians, teachers, coaches, bus drivers, your friends. So class of 2026, none of us get anywhere alone. Lean on each other, but also celebrate the fact that you are now forever a part of Taylor High School history, the 100th graduating class. That title still matters, but what matters even more is what comes next. The world does not simply need more successful people, it needs more good people. People with courage, people with discipline, with empathy, people with integrity, people willing to lead, and people willing to serve. So my hope is that from years from now, when people talk about the class of 2026, it's not just that you were the 100th class. I hope they don't just remember the milestone, how many years you spent in our new buildings. I hope they remember the kind of people you are and the people you became. So congratulations, graduates. We're proud of you, we believe in you, and we cannot wait to see what's next. Let me move this back over because I'll be bringing up Mrs. Holly Sims.
Good evening. Tonight we celebrate the 100th graduating class of Taylor High School. 100 years ago, the very first graduating class had only 5 graduates: John Dell, Alexander Franz, Paul Garrison, Elmer Howard, and Walter Rogers. Tonight, sitting before you are 143 graduates. And on this historic 100-year anniversary, 100% of the class of 2026 is graduating. That is truly something to celebrate. For 100 years, Taylor has been more than a school. It has been the heart of Cleves, North Bend, Addiston, and Miami Township, a place of tradition, pride, growth, and community. From the old Taylor building to the campus we now have today, generations of Yellow Jackets have created memories that still live on. That is the beauty of a 100-year tradition. Times change, buildings change, and people change, but school pride, community, and memories remain. What makes this class even more meaningful is that many of you are the first students to spend your entire K-12 experience on this campus. I have spent the last 53 years watching Taylor grow. As a child, I remember coming to Taylor with my father, running through the halls, spending Friday nights at football games, and taking swim lessons with Coach McMillan. I remember the 10-foot diving board and watching kids jump so high they knocked the ceiling tiles out and into the pool. I remember going to Harmony Field after the homecoming parade. And for many of your younger students and families, that is where Skyline sits today. But back then, those Friday nights felt magical. There are so many memories and traditions that make Taylor special. The hill at the old football field was legendary, and when we built the new stadium, we made sure to create our own version of that hill because some traditions are simply too important to lose. Harrison was the rival back then, but I have to say, I enjoy watching us crush Indian Hill and Madeira far more. I remember the old staff playing donkey basketball, although now most of us probably are more worried about breaking a hip than climbing onto a donkey. Today, we have moved to dodgeball and table races. Taylor's traditions have always connected generations. The musicals, the plays, concerts, drill teams, and now the dance team all keep the traditions alive, and the band leads every parade down the halls and onto the field. I try to forget COVID, siren, the chiller, and the water main breaks, and I hope the words, Mr. Cook, they are going out of, never come out of my mouth again. I would like to add, please bring all hot dogs up to the podium. Your kids can tell you about that. Graduates learned very quickly after graduating that life is not meant to live safely inside boundaries of what is comfortable or expected. The best parts of life usually begin with uncertainty. So take the opportunity, apply for the job that scares you, move to a new city, start a business, take a class, audition for a role, speak up, travel, try, fail, learn, and grow. Challenge yourself to do things that feel uncomfortable, because courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is deciding that something else matters more than fear. And also, I want you to hear this clearly tonight. You can always come home. No matter how far you go, see, here we go. No matter how successful you become, no matter how many mistakes you make along the way, this community will always be part of you. There is something powerful about knowing where you came from. This district, these teachers, these families, these hallways helped shape you. And wherever life takes you next, I hope you carry that pride with you. But with pride also comes accountability, because at some point in your life, excuses have to end, and I say that with love. We have done our job. Your families have sacrificed for you. People believed in you even during your moments when you did not believe in yourselves. This village prepared you for the world the best we could. Now it's your turn. It's your turn to show up. It's your turn to work hard. It's your turn to be accountable. It's your turn to take ownership of the choices, your future, and your character. The world does not need more people waiting for someone else to fix things for them. It needs people willing to step forward with integrity, resilience, kindness, a work ethic, and responsibility. And I believe all of you can do that. I believe that because I have already watched you do hard things. I have watched you overcome disappointment. I have watched you support one another. I've watched you grow stronger, wiser, and more confident over time. And what a blessing that has been. You are more capable than you realize. So tonight, celebrate. Celebrate everything it took to get here. Celebrate your friendships, your families, your teachers, your memories, and your growth. And tomorrow, begin the adventure, not with fear, not with excuses, but with courage and accountability. The world is waiting for you now. Class of 2026, thank you for allowing us to be part of your story. And no matter where life takes you, never forget this. You will always have a home here. And in the words of Marshall Brombach and Don Larrick, you are tailor-made and have fun. Mr. Evans. Mr. Evans, on behalf of the faculty of Taylor High School, it is my sincere privilege to certify to you, the president of the Three Rivers Board of Education, that the students before you, the Taylor High School class of 2026, have completed the graduation requirements of the Ohio Department of Education, the Three Rivers Local School District, and Taylor High School. Therefore, I am happy to present to you the class of 2026 to receive their diplomas tonight. At Taylor, we have an honored tradition of respectful silence. As the students' names are called, we do this because every one of these names deserves a moment to be heard. We want all graduates to hear their name clearly, but don't worry, once the final name is called and the tassels turn, we expect you to make enough noise to be heard all the way back in Cleves. Graduates, you may begin to come forward. Our counselors, Mrs. Heckman and Mrs. Heisel, will assist us by reading the rosters of the students' names and post-graduation plans.
Josephine Jean E. Shui Enderly, University of Notre Dame, Mathematics. Brooke Allison Kelling, The Ohio State University, Nursing. Rachel Madeline Hudson, Miami University, Business, Economics, and Pre-Law. Josie Lynn Taylor, Ohio University, Journalism, News, and Information. Caleb David Williams, Mount St. Joseph University, Graphic Design. Blaine David Adams, entering the workforce. Dylan Matthew Andriott, University of Cincinnati, Real Estate. Chase Frederick Ure, Osdenmore, University of Cincinnati, Nursing. Patrick Thomas Aylward Jr., Tech School Apprenticeship Program. Parker Lee Ballou, entering the workforce. Emmy Josephine Becker, University of Cincinnati Elementary Education. Jillian Virginia Bender, Miami University Architecture. Canon James Lee Bergeron, entering the workforce. Addiston Grace Blackburn, University of Alabama, Birmingham, criminal justice. Emma Louise Blackburn, Cincinnati State, business. Lynna Marie Blackburn, University of Cincinnati, social work. Sydney Charles Scott Buskin, Mount St. Joseph University, health science. Aiden Glenn Boring, IEC apprenticeship electrician. Jenna Michelle Brennan, Mount St. Joseph University, early childhood and special education. Caleb Matthew Brinkmuller, entering the workforce. Ethan Michael Brock, Cincinnati State Fire Service Technology. Lawrence Julius Brown Jr., Tech School Apprenticeship Program. Alexander Matthew Bumpus, Tech School Apprenticeship Program. Troy Evan Butts, entering the workforce. Logan Quinn Calloway, Wright State University, music education. Danielle Renee Childers, Mount St. Joseph University, speech, language, and hearing sciences. Alexander Lucas Cerisi, Mount St. Joseph University, accounting. Mariah Starr Clark, entering the workforce. Raylan Sue Clark, Army National Guard. Mason James Cook, Northern Kentucky University, Mechatronics Engineering. Kevin Howard Cox, Tech School Apprenticeship Program, Automotive. Danny Oliver Coyne, entering the workforce. Preston Jacob Curtis Fritsch, entering the workforce. Chase Anthony Dangle, University of Cincinnati, criminal justice. Brooklyn Renee Davies, Cincinnati State, respiratory care. Jacob Lee Davis, entering the workforce. Rebecca Lynn Davis, Purdue University, biomedical engineering. Ella Grace Eiding, University of Cincinnati, business analytics. Jack Raymond Eiding, University of Cincinnati, cybersecurity. Ava Elizabeth Fries, The Ohio State University, psychology. Maya Marie Gerke, college to be determined, Spanish education. Anthony Robert Gillia, University of Cincinnati, computer science. Dylan Michael Gold, entering the workforce. Braden Samuel Gratz, University of Cincinnati, real estate. Meredith Jolene Grosser, Ohio University, journalism, news, and information. Brady Duke Douglas Gutzweiler, Thomas More University, information technology. Tyler Daniel Harmeyer, University of Cincinnati, mechanical engineering. Olivia Grace Habig, Mount St. Joseph University, business. Riley Joe Hall, entering the workforce. Ava Main Harrison, Xavier University, special education. Jack Gentry Hawkins, University of Cincinnati, nursing. Nevaeh Leanne Herndon, Cincinnati State, technology. David DeMar Hillman, Tech School Apprenticeship Program. Caden Christopher Hilton-Beitel, entering the workforce. Rex John Holder, entering the workforce. Justin Allen Hughes, Point Park University, musical theater. Callie Elizabeth Ilg, Mount St. Joseph University, psychology. Caleb Blaine Jackson, entering the workforce. Olivia Rose Jackson, Miami University, kinesiology and nutrition. Chad Thomas Keene, entering the workforce.
Kylie Ann Lampkin, attending Mount St. Joseph University, studying nursing. Kate Marie Langhorst, attending University of Cincinnati Blue Ash. Blake Thomas Larkins, attending Ohio Wesleyan University, majoring in finance. Caleb Timothy Lawrence, attending Cincinnati State College, majoring in pastry arts. Evan Lee Leisure, entering the workforce. Emily Nicole Lindsley, attending Kent State University, studying hospitality and event management. Jacob Taylor Maines, entering the workforce in culinary arts. Colin Alexander Martin, attending Cincinnati State to become an electrician. Xander Samuel Mays, attending University of Cincinnati, studying mechanical engineering. Juliette Claire McDade, entering the workforce in the fine arts. William McRoberts, entering the workforce. Jackson Kenneth Mybers, attending University of Cincinnati, majoring in finance. Hudson Henry Daniel Mercer, attending the University of Cincinnati, majoring in finance. Macy Grayley Noquise Meyer, attending the University of Cincinnati in secondary education. Autumn Rose Middendorf, entering the workforce as a cosmetologist. Anna Christine Miller, attending Miami University, majoring in biochemistry. Lucy Elizabeth Moeller, attending the Mount St. Joseph University to study nursing. Sophia Lynn Morgan Siciliano, attending the University of Cincinnati Blue Ash to be a veterinary technician. Ava Elise Mueller, attending the Aveda Fredericks Institute to study cosmetology. Jamie Rain Mullins, entering the workforce in an electrical apprenticeship. Macy Lee Mullins, attending the University of Cincinnati Blue Ash in dental hygiene. Kylie Madison Needham, attending the University of Louisville in elementary education. Jackson Robert Neiman, attending the University of Cincinnati in chemical engineering. Carson Matthew Noel, entering the workforce. Ryan Joseph Nath, entering the workforce. Clayton Eddie Robert Ulrich, entering the workforce. Caitlin Nicole Owens, enlisting in the National Reserves. James Thomas Parker, attending The Ohio State University, majoring in finance. Jordan Christopher Patrick, attending Miami University of Ohio, majoring in political science. Jillian Ivy Peace, entering the workforce as a professional dog groomer. Clayton Anthony Piccioni, attending the Cincinnati State College in cybersecurity. Olivia Jasmine Pope, attending the University of Cincinnati in biomedical science. Anna Grace Prosser, attending Mount St. Joseph University to study nursing. Morgan Frances Rao, attending Miami University of Ohio, majoring in marketing. Brian, we good? Nicholas David Ream, attending the University of Cincinnati, majoring in finance. Brian Douglas Records, entering the workforce. Neil Henry Rinninger, attending Ohio University to study music production and recording industry. Vincent Nicholas Rizzo, attending the University of Cincinnati to study finance. Thomas Robert Roa, attending the University of Cincinnati for mechanical engineering. Kiara Beth Roark, entering the workforce in dental assisting. Leo Alexander Rodriguez, entering the workforce in construction. Jacob Edward Rowland, attending the University of Cincinnati to study entrepreneurship and media production. Rachel Jean Rubel, attending Ohio University in education. Brooke Josephine Rule, entering the workforce in cosmetology. Jackson Mitchell Runyon, attending Cincinnati State College in mechanical engineering. Savannah May Ryan, attending Mount St. Joseph University in business management. Trinity Nicole Sandusky, attending the University of Cincinnati in criminal justice. Carson Aaron Schaefer, attending Mount St. Joseph University in computer science. Elizabeth Marie Sherlow, attending the workforce as a 911 dispatcher. Alice Downey Schmidt, attending Mount St. Joseph University in fine arts. Anthony Wayne Schmidt III, entering the workforce. Braden Michael Schmidt, the University of Cincinnati, majoring in aerospace engineering. Easton Thomas Shrimp, firefighting. Maxwell James Schroeder, attending Mount St. Joseph University, studying fine arts. Lily Sky Shiverdecker, attending UC Blue Ash in veterinary tech school. Gabriel Richard Skidmore, attending the University of Cincinnati in fine arts. Gavin Elliott Slaughter, entering the workforce. Sophia Lynn Smithmeyer, attending the University of Louisville to become a dental hygienist. Charles Ethan Souders, entering the workforce. Jordan Emily Stam, entering the workforce as a cosmetologist. Cheyenne Nicole Strobel, attending the University of Cincinnati, majoring in nursing. Jenna Elizabeth Teen, entering the workforce. Ethan Jackson Thomas, attending the University of Cincinnati, majoring in finance. Caitlin May Thompson, entering the workforce. Jire Adonodai Vasquez Avila, attending the University of Cincinnati to study secondary education and life sciences. Avery Madison Vaughn, attending the University of Cincinnati in interior design. Hayden Michael Volrath, entering the workforce. Vincent Christian Walton, enlisting in the United States Army. Maria Lynn Weber, entering the workforce. Noah Press Wentz, attending Hanover College to study business. Natalie Lynn Wheeler, attending Cincinnati State College to study social work. Virginia Gail Whitaker, entering the workforce. Cameron Ryan Williams, enlisting in the armed forces. Kaylee Elizabeth Williams, attending Ball State University in music education. Hannah Mae Grace Wilson, entering the workforce. Nora Ann Wilson, attending the Aveda Fredericks Institute for Cosmetology. Haley Yvonne Wise, attending the University of Findlay for Animal Science. Lillian Suzanne Wubin, attending the University of Cincinnati Blue Ash, majoring in psychology. Harmony Faith Weisinger, entering the workforce in culinary arts. Samuel Robert Yannick, attending the University of Cincinnati in aerospace engineering. Bailey Elise Nicole Young, entering the workforce in health sciences.
Thank you, Mrs. Heckman and Mrs. Heisel. To the Taylor High School class of 2026, we are so proud of you, and we congratulate you on your graduation. You are tailor-made. Next, we ask you to stand for the Taylor alma mater and remain standing once it is completed. Just so you know, it's on the brochure. Thank you for being here this evening. Once all graduates have exited, please meet your graduate outside. Are you guys ready? At this time, it is my great honor to invite each of you to turn your tassels to the left side of your cap. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct privilege to present to you the Taylor High School class of 2026.